Good evening. This video that I'm making today is about Debbie Rose and her staff. It is important that I begin my story from the beginning. When I first went to Debbie Rose, when this problem began, I went to Debbie Rose's office when I discovered that Chase was asking me to make mortgage payment when Chase never gave me a mortgage and my house was already paid off. First of all, where did Chase get the income from to be able to give me five full mortgage each and every day? Impossible. Okay, that a bank, you home taking care of your grandchildren, not leaving going to work because you had grandchildren that needed care around the clock. And for the bank to document that they're giving you full five mortgage every day, they wouldn't even do that to Donald Trump. Okay. So I went to Debbie Rose. My appointment with her was 7 o'clock that night. I took a family member with me. What I noticed with Debbie Rose's office, that all the black one that was coming out of her office was angry and fussing. But all the white ones that was coming out was happy and had such a smile. Okay. Um, she asked David. I told her about the situation. She appointed her staff, David. But here's the thing, they made another appointment. David didn't do anything regarding this case. They made an appointment for me to see her lawyer. I never knew Debbie Rose had a lawyer. The first appointment, I didn't meet with any lawyer. But the second time I went by, I had an appointment with her attorney. I took I took someone with me. Her attorney got on the computer and he said to David, he said, come and take a look at this computer. He couldn't believe the amount of mortgages that they had taken out in my name. He said to David, Debbie Rose's assistant, this is impossible. Come and take a look at this computer. David sat there looking like someone that was in another world, didn't want to move. The attorney insists that David get up and come and take a look. Okay, David did not. The attorney came and sat down to the table with us, telling David didn't say a word. He didn't respond. You know why? Because David had been put in Debbie Rose's office to make sure that I did not get no help from Debbie Rose's office. Not only me. It is a scam with the black people home in Staten Island. David and the Debbie Rose assistant is there to make sure that when a black person goes there in that office to get help or to complain about their mortgage, not to get help at all. So David sat there, and Debbie Rose attorney had to say to him, "You had to do something. You had to do something regarding all these mortgages on her property." David felt bad. So finally, David made an appointment that I go to Manhattan. There's a law firm in Manhattan that have 200 attorneys, some of the best. But as I sat down with this attorney saw the document. He said, "Oh, wow, he never saw nothing like that before." He said, "But we don't have the resource." He was helping. He was going to help, but his supervisor came in and saw the document on Mason and Mason law firm. Mason and Mason law firm is the law firm that have taken out, have done so many foreclosure without my knowledge, without me being present. And they would bring a white female to the table and walk away with thousands of dollars in my name. Another time, I'm going to tell you all how much money these people been walking away with in my name. It's on all the document, all the mortgage they take out, they walk away sometimes with 43,000. Another one, 300 and some thousand. Believe it, okay? They walk away, but there's no bank in the United States where none of these money was deposited in my name, or it never came to me. But what happened was when the supervisor of the attorney that was at the table came, because he went when he saw the mortgage, he went and spoke to his supervisor, and the supervisor came in the room. The supervisor saw that the person that was committing this crime was Mason and Mason. She said, "Oh, I know Mason and Mason very well." She told the lawyer, "There's nothing they can do." Okay? Because she knows the law firm, Mason and Mason, that was going around at every closing and closing mortgages in my name, and and then they would take a white woman at all these closing and walk away with $1,000. So because she knew him, she told the lawyer, "No, there's nothing we can do." And I said, "Nothing you can do?" I said, "Because you know the lawyer that committing a crime?" She told the lawyer not to help me. She knows this lawyer. But here's the thing. The last time I went to Debbie Rose, okay, Debbie Rose, that's when her friend told her, "Listen, you got to help Mrs. Cooper." Debbie Rose said, "I just can't take another phone call from Margie." Where is your conscience? You was elected to help me. Every church in Staten Island would tell me, "Go to Debbie Rose." Every office that I go, Debbie Rose. Debbie Rose, the purpose of this tape, what's happening to me now, the condition I'm in, is because of Debbie Rose. Her as office, someone in that office had taken a bribe and they cannot give the money back. So they're going to do everything in their power to keep me from getting help. Now, I just want you all to listen to this. The last time I met with her, she said her girlfriend, her closest friend, the one that made sure that she was elected, 4 times? Margie, that goes all around the Park Hill and get all these like beer and get everyone in Staten Island to vote for her because she really worked hard for Debbie Rose. But she was the one that called Debbie Rose and said, "Listen, the senior, your office is supposed to make sure that this senior get everything that is needed, whether it's blanket or get her house repaired, water to stay alive, that your office is responsible for that." And when I went to Debbie Rose, she said, she couldn't take another phone call from Margie. She just can't handle it no more. So Debbie Rose, gonna personally see to it that I get the help that I need. And she had never done this for anyone, but she gonna go to the bank with me. You're going to the bank. See, she didn't understand how this crime worked. I didn't say nothing to her. Say, okay. She told me to wait outside. Her lawyer was at a table, and her lawyer was telling her to go to the DA with me. First of all, the DA deliberately refused to prosecute. Even if the DA didn't lock no one up, go after these people that had stolen money from me, from my bank account. The bank Chase had me paying mortgage to them when Chase never gave me a mortgage. When my house was paid off, I never walked into Chase Bank. Not only that, but the DA knew that Joseph O'Shea, that was a prosecutor, because that was the first thing the DA asked me, Detective Harker asked me, what did I do with 206,000 2 times, 255,000, 240,000, 320,000, to my Facebook fans and around the world. What bank were all the money put into? Those are supposed to have been money that I had. But the point is, Detective Harker knew from the start. Oh my goodness. And I will never forget when this man sat in this chair and put both hands at the back of his head, one on the right, one on the left, and lay his head back and look up in the sky and say, "Oh my God, Joseph O'Shea." Now, Joseph O'Shea was once a prosecutor, a man that locked up the DA, lock up so many people. Okay. He was working at the DA as a prosecutor. Now he got his own law office, and this man went and went to the bank in my name, forced my name on documents, stole money from the bank, 206,000, 255,000, 320,000, all those things. But the point is, and then when he found out that Joseph O'Shea, he said, "No, I got to close this case." But because of this detective, I wouldn't have been in this situation. It would have been over. But because they had my phone line tapped, he would tell every lawyer that I go to not to take the case. I even went to Richmond County Bar Association, and I'll never forget when the lawyer said to me, "Oh my God, don't tell them that you met with me. I shouldn't tell them that I saw him or that we discussed this, that we discussed anything because they golfed together." And I had to say to this young lawyer, I said, "Don't worry. I'm not going to tell them that I came here and met with you." Okay. But the point is, if Detective Harkers hadn't been doing this, I wouldn't be in this situation. But okay, we go back to Debbie Rose. So now Debbie Rose's attorney is telling her, this is another attorney, is telling her, go to the DA with her. Debbie Rose promised she was going to do that. Okay? Not only go to the DA, she was going to have the bank to now send her my information. Anything that they have, she would take over. She would be the one to speak on my behalf. Everything should go directly to her. Okay. Debbie Rose said she hadn't done this for no one, but she going to personally go to Chase Bank with me. She made me get in her car. We went to Chase. I knew she was going backwards, but I didn't say it. She went to Chase because there was a check for $43,000 that came from the mortgage bank that is a fraud, and they claim I should sign it and send it back to them. They're going to send it to me. It doesn't work. And I was trying to tell her, I said, no. I said, they're not. I said, once I sign it and send it to them, they're not going to send it back. She spent her time, sat in her truck, arguing back and forth with them, something that I have already done that doesn't work. Okay. But after that, she bought me a sandwich, and she said to me that her office been sending me, she has sent me towels and blankets and so many supply. And I said to her, I never received it. It was a Thanksgiving weekend. It was on a Friday. And she said, okay, since it's the weekend, starting from Monday, Debbie Rose, going to make sure that I get everything that is needed. Debbie Rose's office have what it need to fix my house. There is a program for senior in this situation where they fix your home. Debbie Rose usually call a gathering in Staten Island where people all in Staten Island will come to it. It's like 7 o'clock in the evening, 7 or 6:30, 7 o'clock. And they will all come to it, and these people sitting at a chair, at a table, where they will tell you about this program. I know that for a fact. But because they got Debbie Rose said to me, okay, since it's the weekend, it's Thanksgiving Monday, it's Thanksgiving weekend, she's going to make sure that I get everything that I need from now on. Okay, that sounded great, right? She even bought me a lunch. She bought a sandwich and a Coke. And I told her, thank you very much. So the point is that my problem was going to be over. Yes, the councilwoman, she was elected for a case like this, like I have. Okay? And every church, everyone in Staten Island, whether they're white, I had so many business people who say, "What's about Debbie Rose? What's about Debbie Rose?" And they're all about Debbie Rose. Because Debbie Rose office supposed to help me. This councilwoman, Debbie Rose, was elected to help in my situation. But okay, now I got a call from, I spoke to a call from someone at the DA office after all of this niceness, where she bought me lunch, and she said from now on, oh my God. And she said from now on, she gonna make sure that I get everything that I need. When got a call from the DA, they were gonna open the case back up because Detective Hawkins was corrupt. He was protecting the ones that had committed the crime. So this other detective would call me and we talk, and I told him what Debbie Rose had promised and what she was going to do from now on. She was going to take over everything. She was going to make sure that I get the help that I need. He said to me, "Okay, let him call Debbie Rose. With all that she did, with all that she said, and by the way, her sister was in the truck. Or she goes with Debbie Rose wherever Debbie Rose goes. I was in the back. What I heard, this woman was bragging about how when I would say black, when these people call, Debbie Rose office have the help that he have what these people need, but when they call, she tells them, "No, we don't have it here. No, we can't help you. No, oh no, you at the wrong agency." I didn't hear Debbie Rose say anything when this woman made that comment where she was bragging and turning people down and lying to people. I couldn't believe that she sat there. She was driving, and this woman is on the other side. That when this woman bragged at how whenever someone called, she tells them, "No, not here. We don't have it. No, we don't. We can't help you." And she would make an excuse. The councilwoman never said a word. Do you all know? I believe with all my heart, Debbie Rose is afraid of this woman. She got Debbie Rose wrapped around her finger. And that woman was put there by the white ones that is corrupt in Staten Island to make sure that the black do not get the help that they need from Debbie Rose's office. She and the guy David, Stephanie, that is her name, and I'm calling her name. She said to me, but the point is, when the detective spoke to me, and I told the detective that I had spoken to Debbie Rose, and I was excited because, okay, now it won't be a problem. My house is going to be taken care of, and all of these things, right? And not only that, she spoke to the bank and told the bank whatever information that they have, they should send it to her. I'm quite sure they did. But Stephanie never sent me my papers, a mail that have been going to that office. I know Stephanie. I never got. So if you gonna come in between me and whoever gonna be sending mail to me, and say they should send it to your office, why didn't you ever tell me what you received at your office? Never did. Okay. But here's the thing: with all that kindness and niceness and everything Debbie Rose said, when the detective called her office, they told the detective that they had helped me and everything is fine. This detective was going to reopen the case and going to take over because Detective Harker was corrupt and such a liar and evil and racist. Every detective at the DA knows me. And there was a time when I would call, Detective Harker would say, "Yeah, they want to know that's Mrs. Cooper calling again." He would make a joke. And I would say, "Yes, tell them I'm praying for them." But the point is, let's go back to that. All the promise and everything, sitting in her car and buying me lunch, And even lying, another thing is they have been taking things and lying and saying they were sending it to me. They were taking it to their houses. Well, I never saw them. They never give it to me. Debbie Rose said, I send you blankets, I send you this, and I send you, she was telling me all the different supplies she sent me. I never received one. So if I tell you, Debbie Rose, as a councilwoman, that I didn't receive these things that you said you sent me, did you ever do an investigation? Did you ever turn around and say, okay, she said she didn't receive it. Let me resend it. Let me send her another supply of these things that I sent. Never did. But here's the thing. You told the detective when he called, he was going to open the case to make sure the purpose of this is I would never be in this situation. And I could have been dead. I could have died because of Debbie Rose lies and the corruption within her office. Okay? Debbie Rose told the detective at the DA that wanted to open the case where I would not be in the situation that I'm in today. She told them, they told them, they told him that they had helped me, that I no longer have a mortgage fraud or foreclosure scam, and that they had helped me. How could you have helped me from the weekend within 2 days? Because it was Thanksgiving weekend, it was on a Friday. Now, I believe it was what, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the detective and I spoke. When did you help me? When? The purpose of this tape is to let the world know. If something happened to me, it was because the evilness of Debbie Rose. She's aware of what's happening. Okay? But because their office is in with this corruption, with this fraud, with this scam, so what she did was to make sure that I did not get help. Because when this detective called her, it was to get me help. So what her department was supposed to do is to make sure that I do not get help. This is why they lied to the detective and said we had help her. She doesn't have any more mortgage fraud. None of those things. The detective called me back to tell me, well, Debbie Rose said she had helped you. So you don't need no help. What you talking about? What? To the world, to the whole of the United States, Facebook friend, family. The purpose of my tape to let you all know the evil, the scam, the corruption, and it's all because of drug money. That's what's paying all these things. That's what paying them. The drug money, and when they take these mortgages out and they take out homes and stuff, and then they resell it. Okay? Debbie Rose lied. But guess what? When the detective told me this, I turned around. I got on the phone and I called Stephanie. She usually pick up. She said to me, I said, why did y'all tell the detective that wants to help me make sure that my house is fixed? Make sure that he do something, prosecute and go after these people that have been buying houses and condominiums in my name, making thousands of dollars off it, putting it out for rent, and people is paying them rent, thousands of dollars in my name. I've never gotten a dime of equity out of my home. With the money that I paid for mortgage, $2,899, $2,888.13, twice a month. At the end of the year, I get nothing back from these banks. Like I never paid mortgage. I said that was the reason why the Financial Bureau did an investigation. The New York State Department did an investigation. And the DA detective himself did an investigation. And Detective Hawkins said to me, he said, this crime was committed by Chase Bank. But I cannot go and arrest Chase. No, it wasn't Chase you were talking about. See, you had two type of Chase. You had the one that is run by the Nigerians, where it was created by Dele Oladapo and Morji. Okay, Morji was the one doing the mortgage, preparing it for the bank, and the vice president of Chase was the one that will give these Nigeria a job. And I could never understand why when I would get a call, like 20 calls a day from Chase, they were all Nigerians. And I said, wait a minute. If I'm getting a call from Chase, why they always have to be Nigerians threatening me? Like 20 calls each day. And the point is, Chase never gave me a mortgage. Do you know how many times Chase been paid off? But the point is, I had to keep you all to not jump from one to the next to make sure you get an understanding of this. But after the detective called me, I called Debbie Rose's office. Stephanie answered the phone and said, I said, why did you tell the detective that I no longer have a problem and that you'll help me? She said, well, we're not lawyers. Get you a lawyer. Don't call back here no more. To the word, to the United States, Facebook family, friends, this is what been done to me by Debbie Rose. I would not be in this situation if it wasn't for Debbie Rose's office. Debbie Rose's job is to make sure that I do not get help whatsoever. That office had taken bribe. Okay. They are in with the people that is corrupt. You heard what I said. Why? With all that she said, and getting in her car, going out, getting me a sandwich, and this woman sat in her car for over an hour on the phone with Select Portfolio. I could have told her that. I just sat, I couldn't convince her. I said, you know what? It doesn't make sense. They could send me a check. They want me to sign it and send it to them, and they're going to send it back to me. I said, I tried that. It doesn't work. But no, Debbie Rose thought she could do it. She went back and forth with the bank. And guess what? That's the same bank where the vice president of that bank, Select Portfolio, took out a mortgage on my home with Chase. All on the same day. Chase is at the top of the document. Select Portfolio is at the bottom of the document on the same paper. They both took out a mortgage on my home. All right? But the mortgage all belongs to Chase. So the point is, I've focused on Debbie Rose. Whatever I have gone through or is going through is because of Debbie Rose. Okay? And then her guy David have a tendency of putting in application with Adult Protective Service. On my birthday, I'm always harassed by Adult Protective Service in Staten Island that I need help. And the purpose of this is not to believe anything I say when I go to people to say, you know what? Something's wrong with this lady. And I'm going to tell the world what they also did to me. On my birthday, there was a time, and this went on for 3 months. They would send two guys to my house, to my door. According to them, they are doctors. They were sent by the Adult Protective Service. Now, David from Debbie Rose, he had been paid, I don't know how much money they had paid him, and he had been trying so hard to get me out of this house and have me admitted somewhere. These two guys will come to my door and say they are doctors. They were told that I'm danger to myself and I may burn my own house down. And they will come by in the morning, and you think they're gone. They will be out there all day and say, you know what? They told me that I cannot be in the block, because my behavior may burn down the block. There's a lot that been done to me. But do you know this was done by Debbie Rose's office? She also, when her girlfriend was calling her, she and the girlfriend would call me back and say, Debbie Rose had to call you. I just got off the phone from with her. And she was supposed to call you. I said, no, Debbie Rose is not going to call. How is she going to call? How she's going to call when they have made a promise? I don't know how much been paid for this, whatever corruption. How is she going to call me? No, she cannot go back on her words and do the opposite. Their job is to make sure that I do not get help. Now, if Debbie Rowe helped me, Debbie Rowe is going to keep me alive. That means I'm going to continue to live in this house. If Debbie Rose fix this house, that means everything is going to be fine. No, she have to stand her ground to make sure I do not get the help that I need. Don't that prove it? The detective is going to help me. A new detective is going to take over and open the case, and you stop the detective from doing it and say, you have already helped me. I no longer have a mortgage problem and that you have helped me. And then when I call you, you're going to say, you didn't say what you said to the detective. You tell me the opposite by saying, listen, we're not lawyer. Don't call back here. What you need is a lawyer. Go get you a lawyer. I'm going to focus on Debbie Rose. I want the word to see what is the governor, the mayor, the Brooklyn Borough president, the attorney general. I want the world to see Debbie Rose for what she is. Not a person in Debbie Rose. I wouldn't want to be someone where everybody hates. When she walks in, everybody get mad and say, what the hell she's here for? That's the word they use. White and blacks, you got a lot of white too that do not like her. Okay? But one day she's gonna leave that position and she's not gonna be in that office. But the whole of Staten Island cannot stand Debbie Rose. I know a teacher, a principal that used to come all the way from Westchester to teach at a school in a black neighborhood called the PS 31. This woman leave from Westchester every morning in Staten Island at 7 o'clock every morning. Never miss a day, snow or rain. A black principal. She said to me with the tears in her eyes, she said she asked Debbie Rose for help for the school. She said Debbie Rose turned her down. But Debbie Rose gave help to the school in the white neighborhood. Debbie Rose did not give this principal any help. Debbie Rose felt like she was most superior to this principal. But she's a councilwoman. Wherever she goes, there's someone with her. You couldn't say nothing. But Debbie Rose, the day will come. I'm not praying no wrong, but as a senior, I would not be in this situation today if you and your staff wasn't stopping people from helping me. I went to a meeting at a church, and because I have gotten a call to say the Attorney General, Mr. Letitia James, was going to be at the church that evening. Maybe I should come. I would have a chance to talk to her, to speak with her. I went. As soon as I walk in, you had all the cops in the front because there was a meeting, plus the Attorney General was supposed to be coming, so all the cops was there. Debbie Rose's assistant was sitting to the table. As soon as I walk in, she said, you better look out for her, watch out for her. The cops just said, what do you mean? Yeah, you better watch out for her. Make sure she doesn't act up. The cops couldn't understand. She made herself look so bad. I said, well, wait a minute. Everybody been walking in and they go and sit. And she's doing the same thing. She take the brochure that they give me at the door and she on her way to go sit. So why would you say to watch out for her? She made herself look so stupid. But I'm saying the purpose of this tape is the lies, the evilness, the corruption within Debbie Rowe. And it's a shame. This is a black woman, okay? And like I said before, when the black ones come and have appointment with her in the evening, they come out upset, calling her names. But let the white ones, I had appointment, I sat there and I saw the difference. But at the center, senior center, wherever you go, when she walks in, people were washing. I mean, they're calling her names and they want her to leave. I wouldn't want to be hated like the way Debbie Rose is hated in Staten Island. The whole of Staten Island hate Debbie Rose. The woman is bad. Her heart is not right. And whatever she had taken on the table, whatever she's doing, God sees it all. God knows I need help. And she blocked that from happening. And I've been in this condition. And she supposed to help me. And she would lie and prevent someone else that wants to help from helping me. I had to take my time and focus on this tonight for the word to hear about Debbie Rose. That's the purpose of making this tape. Okay? And all at the back, I mean, in every behind closed door, Debbie Rose in her office. When her staff came that night, I mean, when David, instead of her calling me, when her friend called her and told her, call Miss Cooper, she needs help. She didn't call me. The friend called me back and said she hadn't called you. I said, no, she hadn't called me. I said, no, she hadn't called me. So finally, David called to say